guys, Brittany again. So we've spent the last couple days talking about budgets. We spent the first day focusing on why is it even important to have a budget. We've talked about the actual budget making process. So now it's getting to the hard part. Making a budget is easy. That's the easy part. It's the actual sticking with it and following through where a lot of people slip up. Having financial success is not about making a ton of money. It's about making good choices, but it's 20% knowledge and then 80% reaction. It's what you do with that knowledge. Are you actually going to follow through? So I think for most Americans, the problem lies with living within your means. For whatever, well, it's a hard issue in the way I see it. It's contentment. That's being content with what you have. We all have different blessings. We're all given different skills. Certain skills earn different types of money. It's not bad. One is your value as a human is not at all related to how much money you make. But God tells us to watch out. Over and over in the Bible, He warns us about greed and encourages us to be content and to rely on Him, that He is going to meet our needs. He is going to give us what we need. I like the verse in Luke. It's chapter 12, verse 15. Then He said to them, "Watch out, be on guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." Y'all, buying stuff, stuff doesn't matter. We don't get to take it with us when we leave this place. It doesn't come with us. So don't waste your money on crap. Straight up, don't waste your money. Living within your means is hard because the majority of Americans do not do that. The majority of people are living well above their means, which is why most people are not financially secure. It's really easy to fall into the comparison trap. There is a great study called The Comparison Trap. I highly recommend it. But there's, it's really easy to fall into the trap of comparing your material possessions with someone else. And nothing good comes from that whatsoever. This is something I struggle with. This is just a human nature thing that you have to be aware of and be on guard and, try to protect yourself from. So you have to figure out a way to create blinders, so that you don't fall into that whole Jones's mentality of having to keep up with everybody else. I mean, it's hard. It's something I struggle with too. I see, I get really frustrated when I see people who I'm pretty sure we're in the same tax bracket, and yet they spend a lot more money on regularly hair and mani-pedis, and they always have new clothes, and they go on vacations once or twice a year, and I'm I just don't know how you do that. And reality is they're probably living above their means. They're probably not saving money. They're probably not tithing. Not everybody, but for the most part. So contentment, guys, it's hard. It is a heart-changing thing. It is a having to go to God and go to every day, asking Him to shield your eyes from greed. Shield your eyes from other people's possessions and just focus on being grateful and thankful for what you have. So just embracing that attitude of gratitude is huge here. Just being content with what you have is a huge step in learning to live within your means. So that was part 1. So I'm going to go into part 2, which is tough love. I'm going to call this part crap the Saffels don't buy. I'm just going to give you some things that we don't spend money on, and because we haven't spent money on these things, we've been able to put ourselves in a pretty good position. Honestly, y'all, we are not in a place where we really have to worry about money. We get frustrated when crap happens and we have to take money out of savings, but the reality is we have savings. The reality is we're set to retire with almost $3 million at the time Ryan's 67. If he wanted to retire at 67, he could. And we've been able to do that on less than a 6-figure income. You don't have to make tons of money to do that. It's just taking some discipline and, just priorities we talked about the other night. It's all about what is important to you. So I'm just going to share some things that are not important to the Saffels, and it might be things you spend money on and perhaps you decide you want to change your priorities too. Just know that you are not alone in choosing not to spend money on these things. So I don't color my hair. I'm not going to say I'm never going to color my hair, but I don't color my hair like just for fun. I don't get mani-pedis on a regular basis. Like, nope. That's like a treat. Designer handbags, I don't buy them. I just don't feel like it's a good use of our resources. Expensive clothes, no. We don't really drive luxury cars. My minivan is nice, but it's a minivan. I'm not driving any, like a Cadillac. We buy our cars gently used. Liquor. Yeah, some of your husbands could be pissed at me because I just said liquor. Ryan and I like bourbon. It's not in our budget. It's a treat. It's like a birthday thing. But you know, it's beer and wine on a budget in this Apple House. It's just not important. Monogrammed anything for our kids. Like, no, it's just not important. I would much rather put money in their college savings than to buy them a monogram, something that they'll use for like 6 months, and then I can't even resell it because no one has their same initials. Seasonal holiday clothes for my kids. You know, I bought this like their first year of life. You know, you had like the little cute first Halloween or first Christmas. Like, I did that, but I don't do that anymore. It's just, I think it's silly. They're only going to wear it once or twice. You're going to take a picture and then you're never going to touch it again. Like, it's not a good use of resources. If you have it in your budget to spend money like that, then great. And by have it in the budget, meaning you're tithing and you're saving for retirement and you're debt free, and other than like your mortgage and maybe a car payment, then sure, if you want to spend money on that and that's a priority to you, then great. But if you're not in a place, like if you don't have those taken care of, you should not be buying your children monogrammed, cute, you know, pumpkin outfits for them to wear once on Halloween. Like, tough love. That's not how you should spend your money. So Ryan and I also don't go on vacations that we can't pay cash for. None of this like paying it off after the fact. It means we haven't had a vacation in 2 years, 2.5. Yeah, and even then, part of that vacation we stayed with family. So, my husband, who is our primary breadwinner, he has to take his lunch. He has to pack his lunch 4 days a week. He only gets to eat out 1 day a week. And that comes out of his allowance. I only eat at Chick-fil-A once a month. Well, let's sink in, moms. Like, once a month we go to Chick-fil-A. Pack our lunch the rest of the days, okay? I don't spend money on fancy coffee. Jewelry. I have my engagement ring. And the fancy jewelry pretty much ends there. We don't spend money. We're not planning on spending money on private school. Just don't think it's a wise way to spend your money. You may have it in your budget, and that's great. But again, it's not something that we can wisely spend money on right now. I know there's the whole like saying like treat yourself, and you only live once, and I'm just not in that camp. Like, I see treating myself as being able to retire one day. That's how I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to save up money. I'm going to save money every month. I'm going to pay myself. I'm going to earn compound interest. And I'm going to be able to retire one day comfortably. And I'm probably going to be able to leave money to my children. Like, for me, I would much rather do that. Like, I don't want to be a burden on my children when I'm older. I don't want to be a burden on the government. So, treating yourself, I want to like change your mindset from treating yourself with these like immediate, superficial, earthly things, and treat yourself in the fact that you won't be a burden on your children later, okay? Or the government for that matter. So, yeah, there's crap the Sapples don't spend money on. Yeah. There it is. You're probably, some of you might be mad at me, but that's just the reality. And most people would consider us having a nice income, and we just cannot wisely spend money on those list of things. So don't be mad at me. Actually, you can be mad. You might need to be mad, and that's okay. Tough love. I say these things because I want you all to be like financially secure. I don't want anyone to have to ever worry about money. Like, that's the reality. Like, that's the way I'm kind of handing out the tough love right now. So don't be mad at me. I have your best interest at heart. I promise.